My name is Dawn, and we are going to be providing you with stream TV combined with underground music right here. You want to be here for this. You guys, I'm excited. We're going to bring your favorite artists in our basement. We're going to have some fun, whether you hear them from Adult Swim singles or you hear them from Spotify, SoundCloud. You've heard of them. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you love them. Maybe you don't. We want to have you guys come with us, have them in our little basement, and perform live, uncut, unplugged, just for you. But I did not come alone. I brought a guest. His name is DJ Jock. What it is?
What's up?
What's up? Are you excited again?
I'm excited.
I feel like we're on a roll.
Thanks. I feel like you're on a roll. We're back at this.
We're back at this. I am excited because we have a new guest coming today. We had Bosco yesterday. Now we have one of my favorites. You guys, this guy, I love him. He's awesome. He did my whole last album. His name is Machinedrum. You know him?
Yes, Machinedrum. And you guys' song, I can't wait for him to come out here because I actually have some questions for him.
Yeah.
You guys' song, Do It For You.
Yes.
I freaking love it. I love it a lot.
I love Do It For You. And it's odd the way it was made because I kind of did another record.
Yeah.
And he's so good at understanding me. When we met, we literally met and then did like songs together that day. And Do It For You was one of those records where it was supposed to be something else. And he kind of went into his Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde phase and recreated it into something really awesome. And it's one of my favorite records. And we fought for that record. And we're going to talk about that later on because you guys have to know how bad we fought for that. It's the truth. We fought for that song. I really wanted it on my album, but he won the fight. So we'll talk more about that. But let's get into this. So what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Have you been clubbing in your bubble bath? What are you doing these days?
No bubble baths. I've been out of the bubble baths. Just taking care of my dog and just trying to live my best life.
You talk about your dog often?
I love my dog. I'm like a dog dad.
So what is your dog? What is the brand of your dog?
So I have
the brand of your dog.
So I adopted my dog a year ago today, which is like something
Happy
I'm very proud of.
Adopting your dog day.
I'm a dad.
Happy.
Yeah. I'm a dad. My dog name is Juno. She's a retriever mixed with a Labrador.
Oh my gosh, she sounds odd. Like she sounds
gorgeous.
like she lays around a lot. Labradors are like
she has a lot of
nice
energy.
dogs.
She has a ton of energy, like a lot of energy. She runs around my tiny apartment, tears it up. She started as like this big when I adopted her. They told me they don't know how big she's gonna get, and now she's like she can put her paws on my shoulders.
Oh,
and
you adopted? Is she a rescue or you adopted her from? Oh,
she's a rescue.
I have a rescue too.
Oh yeah, no, dogs are dope, and I love my dog a lot. She's nervous, anxious. Dang, I'm that dog dad. I'm talking too much about my dog right now.
No, I'm with you. I have a dog as well, which is going to be in contrast to our guest because he's a cat guy.
Really?
Are you a cat person?
No. Sorry.
I'm gonna give when Machinedrum comes on, we're gonna talk cats because he's a cat guy.
Yeah.
And I had some interesting encounters with his cats, but I'm a dog girl too. I have a pit.
Yeah.
We rescued a pit bull named Rocco. We love you, Rocco. You're over there, wherever you are. He's dope. He cannot do dogs. He will eat dogs.
Wait, your dog?
My dog is massive. He's almost 100 pounds. And every time he sees like a chihuahua, he licks his lips in anticipation for what's to come. So we can't be around other dogs. He's antisocial, but loves people.
Oh, that's really cool. No, I love dogs. Shout out to all the animal lovers.
To all animals out there.
Yes.
So since you've not been clubbing and you've been a homebody with your dog and you and your dog seem to have a very odd relationship, what do you guys listen to when you're at home? Because we've established that you and I do not like the same things.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to do this part of the show where he plays his faves of the week and I can decide if I like it too. Because the things I like are never in tune with the things he likes.
Yeah, it's cool.
So can you play me what what's your dog's name again?
Juno.
You
named
and
her
Juno.
after the movie Juno.
Yes, Juno. She's not pregnant, is she?
No,
'Cause
Juno. They fixed her. She can't do none of that. Yeah.
Well, Juno's a great movie, but let's see what you and Juno have been listening to, and we can decide. #Underground Swim. Hit us up on Twitter. Let's listen and see if we really like the fave picks that Jock always comes up with.
Y'all gonna like this one. So this one, I was just scrolling on my little music stream software, and I liked the artwork, and I just played it. I didn't.
So you didn't even listen to it.
No, no. Don't do that to me, Don. I listened to it.
He's judging
I listened
off
to
of
it.
the look of something.
Artwork plays a big part in the music. It plays a big part.
It plays nothing. We can't hear it.
Yes, it does. No, it really does.
It
It's what
doesn't
grabs
play
people's
anything.
attention. That's what grabbed my attention, and that's why I played the song. Like, it's really good. This song is called Same Logic by Brand New. And this song is really, really good.
hard to walk through all the places that your life used to be in.
Uh-oh, she's judging me.
So you thought you'd shed a layer,
Come on.
maybe try on some new skin. Your friends are all imaginary. Shrink, stop answering.
This is your fave of the week?
My fave of the week. My fave of the week. This song is off their new album that's already out. It's called Science Fiction, and they're from freaking New York. I love them a lot. And yes, you're judging me.
I'm judging. We're all judging you.
I chose this song off of the artwork.
So you got out the bubble bath to slit your wrist is what we've got out of the bubble bath to then become.
It is what it
to
is. This
become
is my favorite song. I
sad.
like it. I like it a lot.
I'd rather you in the bubble bath. You're sad now.
No, here's the reason I liked it. I like it because of the artwork, and it's two songs in one. I feel like a lot of artists is doing that these days.
They're transitioning into it. I'm a fan of that too. I do that too.
Lord did it. Sid does it. So that's why I did. It's like two songs in one. Two for.
Hashtag Underground Swim, guys. Let them know your thoughts. I'm a eyebrow on that. My eyebrow went up on that.
All right. So I think you're gonna like my next one.
That was really sad. Are you going through something?
No.
Should we go out? Are you sad?
No, it's just moods, just different moods.
I see you walking on a lonely road. Hitchhiking.
Hopefully not.
With someone riding a car to murder you. It's very slit wrist. Okay, go ahead. Next one.
All right, so this next one is it's like my Haitian brother.
Oh, shout out to the Haitians. I'm Haitian.
Yeah, I'm actually friends with this guy. He goes by the name K Tronada.
Oh, I'm gonna like this.
Oh, you're gonna like? Okay, cool.
I like K Tronada.
Wait, you do? Now this song is dope. It's just a beat he made. He released on SoundCloud.
No, I love this.
This is great.
Shout out to K Tronada. I think he gets it. I love his vibe. I think everyone's fans of K Tronada though. This is a groove. This is groovy.
Yes.
I like you here.
You do?
I like you here.
Not a bubble bath?
Well, I prefer you in bubble bath if you're gonna go slit wrists. But if you're not gonna go slit wrists, this is more two-step. This is good. This is groovy.
Yeah. Now he released this album 99.9%, and a lot of people, he's like been chilling out. A lot of people are wondering like what he's gonna do. So he just tweeted, he's like, yo, don't underestimate me. He put out 3 tracks on his SoundCloud, just instrumentals.
I have a question. Why do people, and this is me as an artist speaking, why do people, once an artist drops an album, which is a lot of work, why do we then expect 10 days later more music?
You gotta feed that beast. You gotta feed that monster.
I understand, but the monster has an entire album to eat. Like, why? The anticipation of, like, I miss the days when you could put out an album and people would sit on it and listen to it. But now, because of social media and now because of technology and they like everything is so accessible, artists don't have opportunities to just chill. Like, you gotta now, so as soon as you put out a video, they're like looking for the next video the next day. That costs money, it costs time. So the fact that we're expecting K Tronada to come out with more music after he released such an incredible project, I think is so selfish.
Yeah, it is. I can see that, but
you don't agree.
I'm a greedy.
He's a monster. He's a part of the.
Yes, I am.
He's a part of the problem, folks.
I'm a music head.
You're a part of the problem.
I love it though. But
so here's it, artists. We're gonna put out collection plates. If you guys want music this fast, fund us. Please fund us. I'm so happy if you could just give the people. If you want more music, just give the artists more music, more money to do the music, and then I think it'll be an even.
I think it'll be good. I don't know. I really love this song. The name of this track is called 2017-38, and it's very short. And I just love like the thumping of the song. It's just like moves, just like Santa Pocket.
I love it. What does it look like?
It's.
What did you just do? What does it look like?
Oh, it looks like this.
That dance explains so much of your music choices.
Right.
I don't want you ever to do that again.
No, don't
ever. That's why you stay in a bubble bath. Now it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that shoulder bop in public because it looks so bad. What is that?
I'm just in my own thing. That's it. This song's dope.
I'm glad it stopped. Can we get into what's trending?
Yes, what's trending?
What's trending? Yeah. Can we get into what's trending?
What is trending?
You want to know what's trending?
Yeah,
Let's see what's trending, folks. Okay. You know, this is the part of the show where we talk about what's going on in social media, what you guys are talking about in gaming, in anime, and in tech.
All right.
Tech's my favorite. That's why I waited for it. So we get to talk about what's going on, what's the new stuff. Let's start with Tech. You guys know I'm a VR fanatic. He's not. We've established that.
You just gonna keep bashing me?
I'm not bashing you. It's the truth. Do you love VR? You don't get it. You don't like it.
I love VR. I just don't want to go.
The lie dripped off of your face as you said that. Like, that's not even the truth. Like, you tried it.
Okay.
You're not you appreciate it, but you're not a fan.
I appreciate VR. I really do.
But you don't.
I love virtual reality. We have like a Rick and Morty VR that I tested out. It was really dope. I had to, well up a dub. No, not convincing.
So, for my VR people, Gungrave, a game that was created in 2002 with Red Entertainment, they are coming out with a VR version on PS2. I'm excited about this. It's a third-person shooting game. I love when you take shooting games or active games like shooting and you make it VR because it takes you into a whole new realm. Would you try out a third-person gun game?
Yes, I
Gungrave
would.
is so bomb.
Yeah, but why PS2 though? Like, why?
Well, PS2 started with VR. They were one of the champions and the pioneers to start with VR. Get into this, Gungrave. Look at the visuals for this, guys. Like, it's really bomb. It's gonna start in Japan, which everything starts in Japan. I feel like US, we get the bootleg ending of it. We're like the last people to get the good stuff, but it's really cool. It'll then bleed over into Oculus. It's really cool. I'm really excited about this. I love when you can take something like Gungrave was really, really popular in 2002, and PS2 has been doing this a lot lately, taking games and reimagining them in VR. So I want to ask you guys, #UndergroundSwim, I want to know, what games would you want to be reimagined in VR that haven't been touched yet? What would be a game you'd love to have VR?
I'm going to say...
Oh my God. Do you understand what I deal with, folks? This is real life.
Let me go back.
Oh, I'm so sad for you right now.
A Zelda game. There we go. Yup, Zelda.
Everyone laughed at you.
Yes.
Everyone in the background laughed.
Care.
Like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
Jock wants Zelda. As we hashtag adults, I can see all the people on the underground on the feed just like looking at you like, please
Hashtag
stop.
Zelda.
No, I would actually love a better Sonic the Hedgehog VR. They tried it. They tried to do it. Blue Sky tried to do it, and they said it failed miserably. They put up a mock version that wasn't really like perfect up, and they took it down when people were like, hell no. But I would really love Sonic the Hedgehog to get the respect that it deserves. Could you imagine him going through the tubes? You're with him going through the tunnels in VR. Magic. I also tried Tekken VR, to do Tekken with VR, and I was disappointed. I know a lot of people say the same thing. We tried to do Tekken in VR, and it didn't work out as well as we'd hoped. The features weren't as great as we'd like them to be. So hit us up, #UndergroundSwim. Let us know what games you'd love to be VR. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And even if you've played a game in VR, were you disappointed? Did you find that it was lacking? And for those who have played Gungrave, do you love it? Do you feel like it pays homage to the 2002 version where it was 2D, and do you feel like it did justice?
I feel like Twisted Metal too. That's one that's slipped
dope.
my mind.
Okay.
Twisted Metal will be also great.
Yeah, I love that you
VR.
came back strong, because we didn't like you for 15 seconds when you said Zelda. We didn't like you. Even though Zelda was great, we weren't your friend. Yeah. Speaking of not being, no, there it is. Yes.
Oh, this is dope.
Get into it. Why wouldn't you want to shoot things in 3D? Like, this is brilliant.
Okay.
Look at that.
I'm taking back everything I said. This is pretty dope.
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
It was already a dope game, but to take this to VR levels is just, I'm proud of PlayStation for this. Yes. I would so kick your ass on this game.
For sure.
You admitted it.
For sure. Why would I even try to deny
he
that?
He admitted it. This is brilliant. At least he knows who is the queen of it all. Thank you. At least you came to terms with that.
Yes.
Speaking of things being reimagined,
Oh, yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul on Toonami is getting replaced.
Yes, it is.
It's with Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans, Season 2. I'm excited about. Are you excited? You don't even. I'm excited about this. Toonami just does a really good job of bringing great classics back, dubbed and beautiful. As a girl who is a huge Sailor Moon fan and a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, I just feel like they do a really good job of bringing the things that really need to be brought back. So if you guys are excited and you've watched Iron-Blooded Orphans and you've been a fan, don't worry, it's coming. Season 2. Dun, da, da, da.
Yeah.
Jason DeMarco, who's over Toonami, I love him.
Yeah, Jason's dope.
He just understands the pulse. I think especially for kids who are millennials who didn't who are not maybe familiar with the old school anime, you get an opportunity to see things that were just needed and crucial to the anime culture back in effect.
Yeah,
I'm
Toonami. Excited about this lineup, just Toonami, from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah.
On Adult Swim. Gundam.
Yes.
I'm going to be very honest just about anime.
We would like you to be honest.
Very honest.
Get ready, folks.
Anime always intimidated me. And
why does it intimidate you?
Because of the names. I feel like it's very hard. Like it's solely based off the story.
Paragraphs.
Yeah, it's paragraphs. It is. It's like
the titles are paragraphs.
Solely based off the story, and like I feel like in order for me to connect the stories with the characters, I at least have to remember the characters' names, and like that's the hardest part.
Japanese, and it's hard for you.
Very, very hard. Like but I'm excited about Gundam. I've watched a couple episodes, and there's a lot of things that's going to happen.
Yeah, the Calamity War has caused this entire Mobile Suit kind of fight between all of them, and it's everybody has an agenda, and some people. What I loved about it is it forces you to see that no one's really good, and even at the end of the finale that they just showed, everybody. It's like Game of Thrones. Most people died that shouldn't have died.
R.I.P. Biscuit.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Biscuit. Like it was very.
Biscuit, we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just a reality for all anime. What other shows, and hashtag us again, you guys, again, Underground Swim, which shows would you want to see on Toonami that hasn't aired yet? For me, I was for a long time wanting One Punch Man to come on to Toonami, and then finally it did. But are there any anime shows that you guys haven't seen on Toonami that you would love to see? One Punch Man finally aired, so I want to see that. But I also would love to see, there's Assassination Classroom. Would be really, really dope. That hasn't touched Toonami yet. Steins Gate. Super dope. They're both more sci-fi, and I love that Jason has done with Toonami is that they've got a diverse set of genres for each anime, whether it's comedy, whether it's sci-fi, whether it's crime, whether it's blood and gore. They've managed to have a diverse round of it. But I would really love to see those two, because Assassination Classroom is more sci-fi, and so is Steins Gate. But let's get into the trailer for our Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just sit here, and I am the actual trailer, folks. I'm the trailer for Iron-Blooded. Shout out to Biscuit. But no, for real, One Punch Man is dope. And to be honest, if you haven't watched it, you should. Big ups to Samurai Jack. For being a part. Oh my God. Like, I don't know if anybody else wanted it as bad as I did, but Samurai Jack was so huge for me, for Toonami to take that risk. And I was reading an article that Jason had talked to, I don't know who he was talking with, but he said that it's really hard to license these shows because if Adult Swim admits that they want these shows, people will lock them down and you can't get them.
Wow.
And then there's also the problem of dubbing these shows. Like a lot of the Japanese anime creators don't want their shows to be dubbed. So like finding these shows and really getting them to like come across is hard. I know he said he wanted Mob Psycho 100, and he said it was hard to get that show. And even though he really wants it, it's been really hard to try to find that balance. So big ups to Toonami for really creating a hub for anime lovers like me, and then for people who don't know anime and they suck and don't want to know the names like Jock.
It's really cool.
He's
though.
not perfect.
A Gundam. One thing I found was very surprising is that Gundam is very political, and it talks about like a lot of things that we're dealing with today.
A lot of them do. You got to get past it, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta get past it.
I'm in. Like I watched 5 episodes of this. Like you can't tell me about the Tekadens and
watched 5 and he thinks he's classy.
Yes, I do.
A full-on
like
connoisseur.
I do.
Tell us, Jock. Tell us how anime has changed your life.
It has. Like I just feel like the connection. I never knew how much of an emotional connection you can develop with just character. There's
Who
this
did
character.
You develop emotional? Biscuit?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
There's this character in the upcoming season. His name is Huff.
Okay.
And he sees Mikasuki, and he just kind of sees how powerful he is because of, like, the nanos. It actually worked on his body.
Yeah.
And he sees how powerful he is, and he kind of envies him and envies that position. And I'm like, yo, that's cool. But then there's like a storyline later in the episodes on you see why he envies Mikasuki. Y'all gotta watch that. It's really cool. Really, 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 really cool. And like an emotional connection because it's like, yo, this guy is more than just mobile suits.
Oh my God, he's
to him.
Yeah. It's more than just mobile suits.
More than just mobile suits. Hashtag
more than just mobile suit. Get into it, you guys. So make sure you check out Toonami on Adult Swim. What's the block time?
11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
That means for all you people who don't sleep, all you insomniacs, and all you people that smoke weed late at night, this is for you. Speaking of weed,
nobody smokes weed.
Nobody smokes weed.
Nobody does that.
Speaking of weed, no, for real. For all you gamers out there who smoke and then play, this really ought to start a fight. Really, it started a fight in my household because Capcom and Marvel, they're gonna do a Marvel versus Capcom, and it came out, and I'm way too excited about this because if you are a Marvel lover or you're a Capcom lover, you gotta decide who you're picking and if this works. So Capcom versus Marvel Infinite just came out, and I played it. I love it. I'm a Capcom girl. I do love Marvel, but I'm gonna forever be Chun-Li in my heart of hearts. And get into this, guys. Look at this graphics. Look how awesome this is. If anybody who's loved Marvel or who's loved Capcom, you've played the different games, but this is the new and improved Infinite. I want to look like that. That's my spirit animal. It looks just like that picture right there.
Nice. It's bad. That's like crazy.
It's so good.
Who's your favorite character? Your favorite Capcom character?
Oh, I'm Chun-Li all day.
All day.
I'm Chun-Li all day. If you want to get technical, when I played Tekken, I was Eddie.
You're Eddie?
You like the capoeira, the whole like vibe. He had the locks. I felt like I was a part of it.
Yeah.
But Chun-Li was always my girl. I love when she goes yata at the end and the peace signs and the jump and it was a thing for me.
What about your favorite? My favorite character, I would probably say Arthur. But Arthur's pretty dope. What about Marvel character for you?
I'm the Hulk.
I was gonna do that too.
I'm the Hulk.
I
have a relationship. The Hulk and I date.
Oh.
We have a special relationship. But people will argue with me that they don't think he's the most powerful, but you have to understand, like, he's so big. He's so brilliant.
He got anger issues.
I love his anger issues. I love a man with a temper. I love a man that's green too, but that's a whole different thing. But I love this. You guys, let us know if you've played it. How do you feel about how it's worked? I've heard that, for me, the buttons are just as easy as ever. The combos are similar, so you're able to still play as if you were playing your old school Capcom characters. If you was playing Street Fighter, it still works. Or if you were playing any other games. If you were to play this game, who would you be? You'd just be Arthur, or would you try to go into the Marvel world?
Dip into that Marvel world.
Yeah.
I like Spider-Man. Me and Spider-Man, we have like a close connection.
You look like you like Spider-Man. You like people who are like, listen, we had this, he looks like he likes people that don't naturally have the gift. They acquire it through a bug. You know what I'm saying? Why would we had this conversation? Let's go past Capcom and Marvel. Let's go deeper. Thank you. We did that section. We talked about this. We asked if it was Spider-Man, Superman, or Batman, and he said he loved Batman.
Batman all day. Batman.
I get that he's rich.
Day.
I get
Batman's
it.
been through a lot.
But why do you like heroes that aren't built or born with it? You like people that acquire it.
Because I feel like I'm a human being. I'm not born with just supernatural powers.
I am. So that's why
I'm not born, but I love people that kind of train themselves and just are bad.
But you can die.
At what they do. Yeah, you can die, but okay, so Batman, emotional connection with Batman. This is why I really love Batman. Batman watched his parents die in front of him. That is tough as a kid to watch. And then you go and fight crime by yourself and you're a millionaire? Come on, you're a boss. Like, I aspire to be like Batman. That explanation
was stupid. It was stupid. He watched his family die.
Yes,
and now he's wealthy and he's been through something. You have no
heart, Don. That's very sad for a kid to watch.
I don't have a heart because I'm born as a superhero.
Yeah.
We don't have feelings. We're just awesome. It's different. Superman doesn't have time to think about who dies. He's brilliant.
Batman's still dope. I love Batman, and that's one thing.
A lot of people do. We have this fight all the time. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I just rather be born with my power and be from a different planet than just have money and have cool gadgets.
If you, real quick, if you were like a superhero, what would be like your superhero name? And what would be like your power?
Oh, that's a good question. I would steal this because I think Phoenix is amazing.
Yeah.
I think she is so untapped, and I think X-Men sucks because they never really showcase the reality of how powerful Phoenix is. And I think they would have to. One thing I do agree with you on is Dark Knight, the actual film itself, they played on a darker side, especially when they chose to have Heath Ledger
Batman.
As well. I do love the idea that the Dark Knight had a darker side, especially when Heath Ledger played Joker. I loved the villainous, the darker edge. I feel like they need to give Phoenix a darker edge. I feel like they make her too cute. And I feel like she legitimately killed most of the X. She killed she killed her own man.
Yeah.
She killed, she's darker than what they're giving her credit for. And I think the female leads that they pick are too cute. I'd love to see her way darker, and I would totally play Phoenix. I think Phoenix is so powerful. She can control her telekinesis, how she can control things on such a level. I think they haven't tapped into that the way they should.
Yeah.
And I would love for her to be way darker. Who would you be? What would be your power? What would be your name?
My name will be
Biscuit.
Biscuit is not bad. I love biscuits. We in the South. I'll probably be
Did you just say being in the South you would love to be Biscuit?
Biscuits every day. Oh my God, on the weekend. Atlanta Breakfast Club.
We lost
biscuits.
16 people yesterday. We're losing 30 today.
Well, we're gonna keep losing. I love biscuits.
Okay.
My name will be Biscuit, and my power.
No, you would not be Biscuit.
I will be Biscuit.
I would not want anyone named Biscuit to save me.
I would just throw jelly. That would be my.
You
power.
would throw jelly.
Throw jelly. Throw jelly on
You're
everybody.
saving no one.
No, but they're fed.
You're saving no one.
They're well
Okay,
fed.
So whatever. That's what's trending. What's trending? What's trending? I love our what's trendings.
Yeah,
it brings us closer together as a family. Can we get into the best part of the show?
Oh, yes, let's do it.
Okay, so let me give you a little intro again. Anybody who's in the underground world who knows DJ or production in the underground world, they know Machinedrum. They know him. He's incredible. His use of polyrhythms, the way he uses cadence. I met him a while back and fell in love with him, not only as a producer but as a person. And we wound up doing a lot together. I worked on his project. He damn near created my entire album. But if you don't know Machinedrum, this is one of my favorite videos. Get into him. This is Machinedrum, you guys. Please love him. Machinedrum, we're
up,
here.
Don?
Yes, we love you. He just
I
told
love
me he
you.
hates that video, so I'm sorry that we used it. But we love to do things people hate, so that's awesome. But no, thank you. Thank you for coming into our basement, into my couch. I love you so, so much. There's so much to talk about. Jock loves you as well.
Yes.
What's up, man?
Yeah,
What's up, man?
and he's going to have questions
Sorry
for
she's
you.
giving you such a hard
I
time.
know. But I love Dawn though.
I love you so. We're brother
No,
and
actually,
sister.
I love the dynamic, actually.
Yeah, it's just the truth. I mean, I wanted him to be a part of this because I feel like we are completely different beasts. But let's get into you. First of all, Human Energy. If you don't have this album, you guys, you're sleeping so hard. Please tell me like what that was for you making that entire album, because we kind of made a mistake and dropped the same project like in the same month, and I didn't plan that, but it wound up working out really great. But please let us know like what the process behind that and the people that you got to feature on it and what that process was like.
Yeah, I mean, for me, creating Human Energy was it was the first experience I'd ever had writing an album like that. Like previous to that, I'd been working on, after Vapor City, which Gunshot is from the video you just saw. I was still working on music and like trying to figure out what the new vibe was, and it just kept sounding so similar to Vapor City. And so just one day I decided to scratch everything and start fresh. I had, been working with you and have been working with some other vocalists, and my approach with those tracks and the production was a bit different than my approach with Vapor City. So I was starting to learn a lot about synthesis, and instead of being so dependent on sampling, I was getting really into just like writing my own melodies, writing my own drum tracks, and like, just having it be more of a creation kind of thing rather than being so heavily reliant on sampling. So I started in January of 2016 and ended the album making process in like March of that year. So I just wrote songs
You went
like
back to back to back to back.
Didn't play any shows, just like went crazy writing tracks.
It's so bomb. It's so really,
Thank
it's
you.
so bomb. And you spoke about Vapor City, which was going to lead me to my next question. What I loved about Vapor City is your choice to go into tech and digital world. You created an entire digital platform around Vapor City. Can you talk about that? Because you know how much I love the tech world and how important visual is to the artist. But please talk about what you did with Vapor City, because I think people, if you don't know what he did with it, it wasn't just an album, it was an experience.
Yeah, I mean, the whole album is based on the concept of these recurring dreams that I was having about a fictional city. But every time I would dream about it, I would like literally go back into that same city and see the same buildings, same sites and everything. So it's pretty wild, and I wanted to make an album about that. But, going back into what you guys were talking about earlier about how people just are always hungry for like new content and they want to see the next thing. Vapor City was sort of an experiment on that. Like I just tried to create a whole world so that we could just essentially make the album last a couple of years.
It was a way to sway them.
Yeah.
It was a funny way to sway them. That's
Yeah.
that's a really cool way to do it though.
Yeah, I mean, we had a interactive website where you could hover over each district of the city, and it would play the song that was representative of that district, and then you could click on that district, and then like other content would come along with that, and each district would open up each month after the album was released. So, and then you could sign up to the Vapor City Citizens program, which was like a whole exclusive kind of funnel of content that I would send people every month, so they just felt like really special and
so
included.
innovative though. Like it's so innovative, and I say that because not a lot of producers or even DJs or producers, because I consider you more of a producer as an artist than anything, but they don't take the time to be that innovative within their projects, and it also takes a lot of time, which brings me to the cool collaboration you have with Ninja Tune. How long have you been with Ninja Tune? A really great label in that relationship that you guys have had, but how long have you been with them?
So Vapor City was my first album with them, and I think that was 2013. So yeah, it's been about 4 years.
It's cool that they really let you have your freedom to be able to create something like that. Since you developed that with Vapor City, did that make you want to create a visual for Human Energy in the same light? Like, I know it was something separate, but then did it catch your eye to say, okay, I want to visually do something even more innovative with human energy? Or did it make you say that was a lot, I'm gonna back off for human energy?
I think more on that tip. Yeah,
I built an entire world. I'm tired.
Totally. I was just like, I just want to make music for music's sake, and it was more about the quickness of getting it out. Like I said, I started in January, turned in the album in March, and then it came out in September of that year. So the freshness of it was really exciting for me, because generally, as you know, actually our album too, Redemption, it came together within that same year too, so it was really really fresh sounding. But for the most part, in my experience, like albums, once they're out, it's like the tracks are already 2 years old and you're over it. You're already onto the next thing. You don't even want to see. I completely am on the same page with you. Like I feel the same way. But it's interesting. I can't. It's so real that how an artist has to completely keep creating content to stay relevant these days. It's changed so much since then, which leads me to then say, since you do all of that, my biggest thing that I see you do that's really hard is touring. You never are home, ever. So how do you balance touring like you do, creating these albums, doing these visual platforms, and stay sane through all of this? Like, you're always on the road. I mean, it's something that I've had to learn, it's up to me to pull the brake, to step on the brakes, because otherwise I could stay touring forever. And Human Energy was the first time I had taken time off to write an album, and it just been like, I'm not playing any shows, it doesn't matter like what they are. And I've actually earlier this year in the winter, I did another similar kind of time off period. I didn't write an album, but I was working on a lot of production. It's just really important for me to be able to have that studio time, because that's really where my passion is, is in the creation process. I love playing shows, and it's such an honor and blessing to be able to tour and play all the places that I've played. But at the end of the day, I just love the studio. I just love getting in and like making tracks,
creating. Yeah. Which brings me to this too as well. Like, so there's Machinedrum as the solo artist, and then there's Machinedrum who collaborates and does some really bomb-ass collaborations. Let's talk about the Jets. Well, originally you started first with Sepalcure, and then after Sepalcure you went into the Jets. Is that how it went? Because those are two separate entities. Yeah,
something like that. I mean, I've known Jimmy Edgar, who's the other half of Jets. What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, Jimmy? So bomb.
So I've actually known him since like 2001. We did our first international tour together when I was 19, he was 18. We played in a bunch of shows in Japan, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Just like overseas and no idea.
Yeah, we're just figuring it out in front of a bunch of people, but it was cool. So we have a long history together, and the collaboration of Jets never actually took form until we were both living in Berlin. So that was like around 2011. So just a couple years before that, me and Praveen Sharma, who's the other half of Sepalcure, had, we had just been kind of messing around with tracks, and like we weren't even really serious. We were just kind of having fun with it, and which I think is at the end of the day what you should be doing when you're creating. And we had sent the tracks around to some friends, and then somehow it made its way to Paul from Hot Flush. We didn't even mean for it to be demoed out or anything, and then he sent us an email saying he wanted to put it out, and we're like, oh, it's serious now. Yeah.
That's bomb. And I think it just speaks to how artistic you really are, and how far you can take your brand, which tells me the fact that you're creating your own label is a no-brainer. Congratulations. Yo, Jock, this is crazy because he speaks to all these different things, but I think that because you have done all these different things, it was a no-brainer for you to then say, I'm going to do a label. Tell us about I Am Sam, because this is like Siam, I Am Siam. Yeah. And the French in me didn't want to make that I make sense. But and tell us why label now, why, take the risk, especially how hard and financially how hard it is to even create something, let alone you be an artist and have a label at the same time.
I think a big reason I wanted to start my own label was, going back into how we're talking about collaborations, I have so many, like so many. I have a lot of super talented friends, and I always find my way into some sort of collaboration at some point. And I was just sitting on all these songs that I've sent out to labels and tried to get them signed, but at the end of the day, a lot of those labels, they want more attached to it. They're like, okay, this single's cool. Is there an album? Like, what's coming next? And I'm just like, no, this is a cool song. Let's just put it out. And so I just ended up sitting on all this material that's like that. And I was like, well, screw the labels. I'm gonna start my own thing and just figure out an easy, cool way to put out all these songs. Like every month, we do a new single. We're doing one next month. Yeah, it's a heater. And
you just did one with Rochelle.
Yeah, Rochelle Jordan. The one coming out this month is Angelica Bess. And then, we got every single month, it's like different friends of mine, which really makes it super special and personal to me, to be able to expose some of these artists. Some are lesser known than others. But at the end of the day, it just feels like a family. And that's where the name I Am Siam comes from, because you probably couldn't tell looking at me, but I am related to the original Siamese twins. They're my great-great-great-grandparents. They settled down in North Carolina, and they had 20 kids or something. So I'm like
working.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I just wanted to, pay homage to them and just have the label just have this whole family feel, so it feels more like a unit and less of just, putting out whatever's trendy or, like me keeping my ear to the ground and like finding out about new artists. But I mean, that's going to happen anyway, but we'll see how things go. I'm really excited.
Jock, you got some questions?
Yeah, I love that you're always on the road. And I love that you're traveling. You actually have a show coming up in New York Saturday.
Yeah.
Good Room.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that. I wanted to know, you talked a little bit about collaborating. I wanted to know, what is that process like collaborating with different artists? Like, do you guys have creative differences sometimes? And are there songs that have never seen the light of day?
I mean, it's always different with each artist. But at the end of the day, you build a certain amount of trust with each other.
Yeah.
And the best collaborations come out of that trust and that understanding that, like, you don't know everything, they don't know everything. And just because they come up with an idea that you don't initially like, if you let them try it, most of the time it ends up being amazing. And you learn so much about, your own creative process through that trust and just letting go. And even just seeing another person's workflow and how they are in a studio, and it's such a learning experience, and I think that's what makes it exciting for me and why I get involved in so many collaborations.
Yeah. I also wanted to know, the name of your project is called Human Energy.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what gives you human energy other than your music.
Other than my music, I think just friendship, people, love, surrounding myself with like positive people that are constantly influencing me and that I can learn from. It's a good thing, especially these days. We live in really dark times, and it seems like the world is so crazy. So it's all we can do to limit the amount of crazy in our lives, and just like make your circle of people that you work with, that you chill with, just like that they're all, very positive people and that aren't gonna like bring you down any more than the rest of the world is,
Yes, I love that. I freaking love that, man. That's awesome.
Well, we always have the fans ask some questions too. We have them #UndergroundSwim so that they can have questions for you. And one of the questions was, what's the name of your cats? Because I mentioned you had cats earlier.
PD Pablo and Deacon. And Deacon's the other one.
Yeah, I'm going to segue into that since that's a good question. Why cats? Why? They are so beautiful, by the way, but they start like they live on, one lives on the top of your refrigerator and watches and dares anyone to open it. And
Yeah,
the
he's
other
got
one,
like 3 places that he's at.
yeah, that's the, when I
Refrigerator.
come see you, that's why they're always there. And
Yeah.
then the black one, is that Petey?
That's Deacon.
Deacon
Yeah.
loves me.
He loves you.
But
He will
Deacon
not
also
leave you
has
alone.
velociraptor nails.
Yeah,
that
if you stop petting him, he's just like
he's like, please.
gets
no.
in you.
Why cats? Why them though?
I mean, I grew up with dogs. I wasn't a cat person until I got these cats. Like we were, me and my wife Lexi were living in New
Lexi,
York.
I love you, by the way. She's the bombest stylist ever. Love her. She styled me, and she's amazing.
Yes, so we got both of our cats in Brooklyn. We just didn't have time for a dog, you know.
You don't feel they're too independent to the point where they should be paying rent? You don't feel
Sometimes I question it.
they roam.
But no, you know, when we got these boys, they're very
was
special.
no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, and it, I don't know, I started reading about cats and like reading about how they communicate, and then I just felt like I started to understand them more, and I felt more of a connection to them rather than this like annoyance that I had before.
Yeah, they're beautiful and they're a part of the family, and we love them. Can I ask you a favor?
Sure.
Can you christen this basement? Can you perform for us? Because we kind of love you, and we want the people to see you perform in kind of like a house party space.
Cool. Well, you know what? I have my equipment set up
Magically,
over here.
his equipment
I
is
don't
over
know
to
how
the
that
left.
happened,
There.
Gosh,
but
it's like
I just
it's
looked
amazing.
over to the left. Oh,
It was there. That's
Yeah.
how we roll over here. We just have things happen while you're not looking. So can we get a little bit of you in our basement?
sure. Why not?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Everybody, let's get into Machinedrum. I might even rock with you a little bit.
I'm gonna
You
do my
should.
shoulder rock.
You should.
You're gonna show it. Oh, please don't. Don't
She's
embarrass
doing
me
it again.
in front of people.
Shoulder.
Okay, everybody, let's get into Machinedrum
All right.
live in our basement in the cave. Come sit with me, Jack.
I'm coming.
You guys are welcome to dance because he is next level. This is gonna be dope. I'm excited. I think we're gonna make the lights feel like we're in an actual rave space because we've got to make sure the music complements the vibe of Machinedrum because it is a movie. The first show I went to see him with, I sweat my hair out. Yeah, you know, if black girls sweat, the curls come out. So that was way too much information. Oh yeah, the video. Oh, a video is gonna play right now. Oh, another video is gonna play. So a video is gonna play of machine. He needs 2 seconds. Well, don't show Jock because he doesn't need to be seen. It's just- oh, I snorted. Yeah, it's a habitual thing. Maybe we can show one of his other videos that we have on this. You know, like you guys gave me 3. Yeah. We're good. Well, we'll keep that as a note for the next one.
that you like fish. I know that you won't. I don't want to smoke this. I know I kept you waiting, By all means, please forgive the lady. I'm saying, I know what to do with it. I know what you like. I'ma help you right. I'ma bid you right with me in the weeds. Getting wavy, ride the wave. I know I kept you waiting. By all means, please forgive the lady. I'm saying, I know what to do. I know what you like. I must walk you right. I must walk you right with me in the sweet. Shit is wavy, ride the wave. Surf the slave with you. I do this shit with you. I do it for you. So let me give you life. Let me give you life. I do it for you. I do it for you. You. Shay, do it for you. I do it for you. I do it for you. So let me give you life. Come in like me. I do it for you. I do it for you. I do it for you. So let me give you life. Come on, you lay with me. I do it for you. I do it for you. Do it for you. I do it for you. I do it for you. This be life. This be life. Come on, you lay with me. You say, ooh.
Give it up for Machinedrum. This is Underground Swim, where you get everything for us, by us. See y'all next time.